All right, guys, in today's video, we have to take some time here to go over some very big news regarding Halo Infinite and the next generation Xbox. We just learned 30 minutes ago, as of the time of this recording, that Halo Infinite is officially being delayed into 2021. Now, 343 Industries have released a statement here that we will read and go over. But as you can already see, both Series X and Halo Infinite are trending on Twitter because this is an absolutely massive deal and has huge implications. But I have to say, first and foremost, this is the right call. Anybody who's been listening to what I had to say about Halo Infinite, granted, I haven't been talking about it much lately, but I sure did, just like everybody else, have a lot to say about it after we saw the gameplay demo at the July 23rd Xbox Game Showcase. You guys know that I said this game absolutely needs to be delayed because it's very obvious that it's not ready. Not only that, but it's also very obvious that, and maybe I'm taking some liberties here in saying this, but I'm only saying this based off of what I've seen and how long this game has been in development. It's very obvious that 343 as a studio is having a very difficult time getting this game to be what it frankly needs to be. And I think what everybody is expecting it to be. Now, I don't want to go too deep into that right now because what's important to understand are the huge implications this has for the launch of the next generation Xbox. As all of you know, this was supposed to be the game, the big launch title with the Xbox Series X, and now it's being delayed. Now, does this mean the console will be delayed? I doubt it. However, I don't want to rule that out entirely because at this point in time, I don't know what Microsoft is going to do. This is an absolute disaster. Even though I do think this is absolutely the right call and exactly what 343 and Microsoft should be doing, delaying this game, taking as much time as you need to fix whatever issues you're having with it and get it up to the quality level that it needs to be at. But there's no denying this is the worst case scenario for Microsoft and the launch of the next gen console. I have to say I commend them on this because I honestly believed that Xbox was going to say, or Phil Spencer is going to say, it's too bad. We have to launch this with the next gen Xbox. There's no way. I got to say, it is really nice to see that they're willing to do what's necessary, but it may come at a great cost. I mean, not only is Halo Infinite apparently the most expensive game ever made, based off of reports, which is insane to think about, and frankly, I don't know if I believe that, but that's insane. It's not only going to cost them a lot of money in that way, but it's going to cost them big time, in my opinion, when it comes to how the next generation Xbox is going to sell. And so we have been hearing reports for a little while now that apparently Microsoft is willing to undercut Sony when it comes to the price of their next gen console. And I'm going to read this statement in a second. I know you guys are probably wondering, well, MBG, are you going to read this statement? I will. I just want to say we've been hearing reports that apparently Microsoft is willing to actually undercut or attempt to undercut Sony when it comes to the price of the Xbox Series X. Even though it is the more powerful console, it'll most likely be more costly to produce. So they would take a huge loss on that. But at this point, guys, I have to say, considering we have no idea what the launch of the launch lineup of the next gen Xbox is going to look like at this point, that may be a necessary thing for them to do, believe it or not. So anyway, let's read this statement before we go any further. Today, I want to share an important Halo Infinite development update with the community. We have made the difficult decision to shift our release to 2021 to ensure the team has adequate time to deliver a Halo game experience that meets our vision. The decision to shift our release is a result of multiple factors that have contributed to development challenges, including the ongoing CV-related impacts affecting us all this year. I want to acknowledge the hard work from our team at 343 Industries, who have remained committed to making a great game and finding solutions to development challenges. However, it is not sustainable for the well-being of our team or the overall success of the game to ship it this holiday. We know this will be disappointing to many of you, and we will share in that sentiment. The passion and support the community has shown over the years has been incredible and inspiring. We wanted nothing more than to play our game with the community this holiday. The extra time will let us finish the critical work necessary to deliver the most ambitious Halo game ever at the quality we know our fans expect. Thank you for your support and understanding. Chris Lee, studio head, Halo Infinite. So that's the official statement. And, there's really not too much to read into there. They're citing CV, which is, perfectly fine. I think it's safe to say that it's negatively affecting everyone. Although I would argue, it seems to me, unless Sony's just doing a good job in hiding it, I don't know if that's necessarily the cause of this, because you don't see Sony or their studios seemingly running into these same issues. At least we don't see that right now, right? I mean, people have kind of talked down to a certain extent on Spider-Man Miles Morales, saying it's just like glorified DLC, but even still, it looks really good. And I mean, I hate to be the one to say it, but it has to be said. It's still, at this point, now that Halo Infinite has been delayed, more than Microsoft will have to offer. Plus, we don't know what else Sony has planned to launch at or very close to the release of the PlayStation 5. I think there's certainly going to be more than Spider-Man Miles Morales. And again, this is really the worst case scenario for Microsoft, where it's like, this was the game, man. This was the game that Microsoft had to have at the launch. And granted, I would much rather, and I think anybody who is looking forward to this game, I think they would agree with me on this. I would much rather see them delay this game and wait to release it, even if it's a year later. It doesn't matter. Just make sure it's ready to go. If it's not ready, don't force it out there. And another thing I wanted to mention as well, another reason why I'm happy to see this, is because I had this theory that regardless of how bad Halo Infinite looked in that gameplay demonstration, and no matter how clear it was that it needs to be delayed and moved back, I was convinced that Microsoft wouldn't do that because of two reasons. They just wanted to make sure this was going to be there at the launch, but also because they could use Game Pass as a way to justify that quality, saying, oh, well, you can't really complain about the quality of the game when we're giving you access to it for $10 or $15 a month, and the multiplayer will be free to play. I really thought that was the route that Microsoft was going to take, and frankly, I'm kind of happy to see that they're not. But there's no denying, guys, as I've continued to reiterate in this video, this is just an absolute disaster for not necessarily Microsoft, right? Or even their long-term subscription plans, but at least for the launch of their next-gen console. I mean, this is going to do about as much damage as anything could possibly do. I don't know. It's really difficult to say how many people are now no longer going to be a day one buyer of the Xbox Series X or even the S model that may end up launching alongside of it because of this. I mean, I have no idea. I don't think Microsoft themselves even know. We're just going to have to wait and see how it all plays out. But one thing that is very clear here is that they are making the right call. And I know that some people are going to laugh and they're going to make fun of this, and it's easy to do that. I know that there are a lot of people who come across my channel and they think I'm just some kind of fanboy that wants to see Microsoft burn and Xbox go away and fail. And that's not the case, honestly. I really am a little bit baffled and just kind of shocked in a way that this is how everything's playing out when it comes to Halo Infinite. I really went into the July 23rd event thinking that they're in it to impress, and that's their goal. And they know the pressure that's on them. They know what's riding on this. They know how long people have been waiting for Halo Infinite. And I really did kind of look at it as their last chance, and they just completely dropped the ball in a really, really big way that I didn't foresee. And I, at that point, realized, wow, okay, I don't think Sony really has anything to worry about. Now they really don't have anything to worry about. I mean, I hate to make it sound that way, but it's true. I mean, if you're Sony right now, you're probably like, wow, okay, I guess we're good. we're good. I mean, they probably already felt that way, but now they're just like, yeah, we don't. And that's good and bad. It's good because it's like, oh yeah, that's great. You know, Sony's gonna deliver a great console with great games, and they're gonna continue to do what they've done. But this is where, frankly, I don't want to see things go down this way. And I do hope that this extra time that 343 gets, we don't know how long it's going to be, whether it's like mid 2021, early 2021, or late 2021. Regardless, I hope that the extra time they get, they really do some big things with Halo Infinite. And I hope that the games we see later on revealed when it comes to like actually seeing gameplay for the titles that were announced at this July show, I hope they really start to bring some competition Sony's way, because I mean, I don't believe Sony will get complacent. I just don't see them doing that. I think they're aware that that's the last thing that they want to do, and it would be the worst thing they could possibly do. But when we continually see Xbox just kind of dropping the ball like this, it makes it a lot easier for Sony to get complacent, right? And so I don't know. It's just an unfortunate situation all around. I'm not going to say this essentially dooms the next gen Xbox. I don't think it's that serious. But what I will say is Microsoft needs to they need to, first of all, and I think this is the most critical thing, now they need to let people know what's going to be there at launch for the Xbox Series X. For people who are going to buy this console, now that we know Halo's not going to be there, now we need to know, okay, what is going to be there? And that's going to be the most important thing for Microsoft to do right now. But something tells me that they're doing this right now. They're announcing it's delayed right now because they're going to follow up with either some kind of event, or if not an event, some type of announcement that's going to kind of make up for it. And that could very well be the Initiative's new game. Apparently, the Initiative's new game is ready to be shown off to a certain extent anyway, and they decided not to. And one of the reasons we heard for the reasoning for that is because they wanted to save it. Maybe this is why. Maybe this is why, because, hey, even though the Initiative's game won't be there at launch, still, if they can show something that looks significantly better than Halo Infinite, that'll, I think, will go a long way in helping, the perception that people have right now of the Xbox brand and the Xbox Series X. I don't know what people are saying right now. I literally haven't looked into it. We're not even an hour removed from this announcement, so I have no idea what the reaction to this is, and you're just getting my genuine reaction right now. And as I said, just to kind of reiterate and finish this off, I think it's the right move. I think it's absolutely disastrous for the launch of the next gen Xbox, but still, a quality game is what's important at the end of the day. So hats off to Microsoft for making the tough decision here. But at this point now, I'm interested to see what Sony's launch lineup is going to look like in comparison, and what Microsoft is going to have at launch now. Who knows? Maybe Microsoft is going to try to find a third-party game that they can throw a bunch of money at and say, look, your game's launching around the time that our console is. We just had to delay our big launch title. How much do you want to make this a timed exclusive for a year or something? Maybe they will do that. I'm not anticipating it, but you never know. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. But yeah, that's going to do it for the video. I do want to let you know that this was not the original video I had planned to go out today, but this is obviously big news, and I know a lot of you are going to be asking me to talk about this, so I'm getting this one out first. I do have another video about a PlayStation 5 event and how apparently this PS5 event, if the info we have is true, is going to be huge, and there's going to be a lot shown off and revealed. So obviously I made a dedicated video to that. It might not go up today. If it doesn't go up today, it'll go up tomorrow. But yeah, that does it for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. Leave the video a like if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already. Hit the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.